Hello Ice and Fire Nerds, this is Chris, and this is going to be a little addendum to my Game of Thrones Season 6 trailer breakdown video. There were a lot of good questions in the comments and a few things I had missed anyway, and a few things I didn't really miss but I didn't really clarify either. So I want to quickly go over a few of these scenes again and kind of clarify a few things based off some of your questions and some other thoughts I had. So if you hadn't seen the full complete breakdown, go ahead and watch that first, and you can go ahead and click here for that. Go ahead, I'll wait. Okay, now that you're back, again, potential spoiler warnings just like the last one. I may be touching on some book stuff for you show-only watchers, and also just general speculation warning that may end up being spoilers for Season 6, obviously. So if you want to go into Season 6 completely blind, kind of like Arya, and not know who these people are and what's going on, go ahead and click away. And if you do want to know what the hell is going on, we'll see you on the other side.
Somebody like you. And I wanna fall in love.
So let's jump right in. Just a few scenes I want to go over again a little bit more in depth, again based off your questions and comments, as well as some things I had missed and some things I didn't really make clear. So the first scene I want to talk about is this battle scene in the north where we have apparently Bolton archers. And if you look closely, what I didn't point out last time was one of these banners here looks to be the sigil of House Umber. Now House Umber is a northern house that should be on the side of the Starks, but of course with Ramsay in power and Sansa being the wife at the time, they really had no choice to follow the Boltons because Roose is the warden of the north. But if you look here, it looks like they're still fighting with the Boltons. I had said in the previous video and in some prediction videos that I think the Umbers and Starks and other northern houses will fight on the side of the Starks. So I think they're going to start off fighting on the Bolton sides like they normally would until they find out what's really going on as far as Sansa, her escaping, and of course Jon being probably Jon Stark. And the next clip I wanted to go over really quick was the clip of Jon Snow laying there on the table and somebody shutting his eyes. I said in the video this could be Davos or Jon Snow's other companions, but what I didn't point out and make clear was that whoever is closing his eyes here has all their fingers, so this is obviously not Davos. More than likely it's Ed or another companion, but in the end it really doesn't matter who closes his eyes in this scene because he's in the same damn room with him anyway. And the next scene I wanted to touch on really quickly was the scene where I'd said in the video that it could be Melisandre or Dany or another red priestess touching this brazier with the flames. And just for the sake of time, I cut out a small piece where I said this could be Dany as well, and I put a title on the screen pointing to the ring on the finger that looks like Dany's ring. So I do want to clarify, I do think this is Dany. This could be after she either gets her ring back from Jorah, or it could be the other hand where she had a very similar looking ring. But I do think this is Dany, not Melisandre, not only because of the ring and Melisandre wears no jewelry. The hands here are touching a hot brazier with fire in it. So the only person that could possibly be touching this would be Dany, because you know the damn thing's fire ass hot. And in the next scene I want to talk about the Flayed Man scene. A lot of people are speculating here on who this is being flayed and burned. I said in the previous video it could be Stannis if they found his body, if Bran didn't in fact cut his head off, and they're just displaying this directly after Season 5's battle where they beat Stannis' army because he really had no army. Stannis' head was probably removed by Brienne against that tree, and this one obviously has a head. What I didn't point out and what I didn't really notice, and thanks to you guys in the comments, is that if you look closely, it looks like this upside down man is missing a few fingers. And unfortunately, we only know one character who's missing a few fingers, and that is Davos. Hopefully this is just some kind of illusion. Perhaps it's somebody else who lost a few fingers in the battle before they were flayed. So hopefully it's not the Onion Knight, but it's not looking too good. And the next scene I want to clarify was the Tyrion scene where he's in what I believe to be the dragon pit with a torch. And if you look closely here at the beginning of this scene, you can see what looks to be Varys standing in the background with the other fire. To me, this kind of reinforces what I said in the first place, that Tyrion will be in the dragon pit attempting to release Rhaegal and Viserion, because it looks to me this is Varys kind of standing off in the background at a safe distance. Another scene I want to talk about really quick is the Arya scene where she looks like she is still blind. And a lot of people have asked in the comments, do you think that could be Arya Warging there? In the book, she does have wolf dreams all the way over in Essos, and we know she's personally connected to Nymeria, somewhere still running around with the wolf pack from Season 1. But also in the book, she was this character named Blind Beth as part of her training to heighten her other senses, and she actually wargs a cat to be able to see through the cat's eyes while she's physically blind. So this could be her warging. The only reason I don't think it's her warging is because when you see Bran warging, and we know he's warging for sure, or skin changing, his eyes are completely white and pretty smooth. If you look at Arya's here, you see the whiteness of her eyes mostly, but you still see those little spots of darkness. So to me, this looks like she's actually just still blind in these shots and not necessarily warging. Although I hope she does. I hope they bring this out like they do in the books and she ends up being a powerful warg just like her brother. And the next scene I want to talk about is a scene where we are apparently up north of the wall somewhere, and we have this mysterious hooded figure swinging the fire flail at a wildling or somebody. And I think this is going to be Benjen Stark. I had mentioned it could be Cold Hands, but again, I really don't believe there's any reason to put Cold Hands in the show. What I didn't point out here, what I completely forgot about based off the behind the scenes footage HBO released, if you look down behind this log or these supplies or whatever is laying there, you actually see Meera Reed ducking down behind there. So to me, this points that it is in fact the Haunted Forest north of the Wall. Obviously, we know that's where Bran and Meera and them are with Bloodraven. So to me, this supports the theory even more that this is somebody saving her from a wildling or whoever that is he's killing. And this could very well be the return of Benjen Stark. And damn, I hope so. I mean, this motherfucker's been gone for 5 seasons, man. Where the hell is he at? And another scene really quickly I want to talk about is the scene where Davos is talking at the end of this trailer about, pardon me, I'm not really a good fighter, so I apologize for what you're about to see. A lot of people have said in the comments, well, Davos is probably about to fight the guys in the room with him. The only reason I don't believe that, I believe they're going to fight the guys outside the room trying to break in, is because before he says any of that, he walks over and grabs Longclaw. I believe the other guys are just following his lead. I believe they're on his team, so to speak, on Team Jon, and that he's just apologizing to them in advance before he makes a fool of himself trying to fight off the guys coming through the room. Think about it. If they were in there and they were the enemy already broken into the room, then Davos would have no time to go grab Longclaw. They didn't react until he drew his sword, and I think they're just kind of following his lead and drawing their swords, getting ready to fight as well. And the next one really quick is the Melisandre scene where it looks like she is either seducing somebody but doesn't look too happy about it. And I said this in the original video, that more than likely she's not seducing somebody. This may be related to some sacrifice or ritual based off the resurrection of Jon Snow. So a lot of people have mentioned in the comments, well, maybe she's going to sacrifice herself and kind of play the Nisa style character to bring Jon Snow back, the whole death pays for life type of thing, which is very, very possible. The reason I don't think she'll die in this particular scene, if this is a scene with Jon Snow, and we're not sure if she is, this could be later on in Winterfell or something else. The reason is because she does in fact make it to Winterfell. She did see in her fires herself walking on the battlements of Winterfell. So she was right about that. She was just wrong about who she was going to be with. She thought she was going to be with Stannis after he won the great victory in the north, but it ends up she's going to be with Jon. So I think she makes it all the way down to Winterfell. So if it is in Winterfell, this could be her seducing somebody there. But if it's related to the resurrection of Jon Snow and they're still obviously at the wall, I don't think she will actually sacrifice herself, although I think she would if she believes that's going to win the war for the Dome. And finally, I just want to go over a point that somebody had brought up. I had said Jon Stark in the previous video about who he's going to be when he's resurrected. I said I think he'll take the name Jon Stark. And a lot of people said, no, he's going to be Jon Targaryen. Yeah, he is a Targaryen. I think we all believe that, or most of us. But I think for at least a while, he will take the name Jon Stark before he finds out who his daddy is. I believe that Robb, being king in the north, probably had a will somewhere hidden and legitimized him as Jon Stark like he does in the books. And that may come into play in the show as well. So when he's resurrected, he is free of his Night's Watch vows. A few of you have asked that as well. He did technically die before he comes back, so he will be completely free of the Night's Watch, and there's not a damn thing they can do about it. And I think that he will probably take the name Jon Stark, because as far as he knows, he's Ned Stark's bastard son, and that's probably the name he's going to take, at least before it's revealed to him that he is the son of Rhaegar Targaryen. That will come later on, I think. Again, I think we'll get the parentage thing, hopefully, but I don't think he'll know that for a while. So he'll just know that he's Ned Stark's bastard son, and he's back to life somehow or another. He may realize what he's got to do. He'll head south to try to take Winterfell back. Melisandre will label him Azor Ahai, but he's going to probably take the name Jon Stark at least for a little while. So anyway, guys, that's all I had. I just want to throw that out there really quickly to kind of cover a few things that I had missed. And again, great comments from you guys, so I really appreciate all the feedback. I'm sure there's a lot more stuff I may have missed, but I don't want to overdo it either because we probably have another trailer coming before the season starts. So again, let me know what you think. I have a lot more coming, including more prediction videos with Val. So in the meantime, click here for the last video on Cersei and those Season 6 predictions. And you can also click here for Bran and his Season 6 predictions, both of those being with Val from Because Geek. And we'll have more of those coming before the season starts. So thanks again, you guys. Thanks for all the support. Be sure to subscribe to get everything. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
What a wicked game you play. Make me feel this way. What a wicked thing to